Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Don't you agree?
Since it first burst into our collective consciousness in 1977, Star Wars has always been synonymous with the big screen. The franchise epitomizes blockbuster storytelling since its sheer spectacle and George Lucas's boundless ambition always seemed to demand the widest possible canvas and the widest possible audience to share the experience with. Until now. The Mandalorian accomplishes something Star Wars fans may have thought impossible, distilling the essence of Star Wars, its limitless possibilities, its spirit of adventure, its ability to be both relatably grounded and utterly fantastical all at once, into a 40-minute live-action series that fits into the world of the movies like well-worn armor. Of course, director and executive producer Dave Filoni is no stranger to making gripping Star Wars TV shows with an even smaller budget and even shorter running time than The Mandalorians, but animation can be a far more forgiving medium. To bring the scope and scale of Star Wars to a live-action TV show and have it look this good is a major accomplishment. There's a tactile, grimy, lived-in feel to The Mandalorian that harkens back to the '77 original. There are desolate landscapes and empty streets that are every bit as evocative as a bustling cantina, and the attention to detail, from the creature work, accomplished with CGI and a refreshing amount of practical effects, to the set design, costumes, and locations, demands repeat viewing to try and catch all the little flourishes that are no doubt hidden in the background of every shot. But even the most meticulous world building would mean nothing without a compelling protagonist, and Pedro Pascal anchors the series with swagger and a surprising amount of humor, even under a costume designed to keep everyone at a distance. Despite his lone gunman routine, Episode 1 introduces several characters who effortlessly bring out different shades in his performance, from assertive to deferent to downright quippy.
We have you 4-1.
I like those odds.
The last 10 minutes of the premiere are a particular joy, giving us the clearest sense of Mando's personality and professional capabilities we've seen so far. Still, it's safe to say that The Mandalorian has some rough edges. Tonally, there are moments that don't quite fit together. Horatio Sands' bright blue Mythrol character in the opening scene seems to be in a completely different show from everyone else, playing things a lot broader than even the thugs who are beating him up. And there are some scenes towards the midpoint of the episode that hew closer to the franchise's more slapstick, Ewok, and Jar Jar adjacent tendencies, although they're not altogether unwelcome, especially considering the show's only rated TV PG and kids will no doubt be watching. Thankfully, despite the family-friendly rating, the episode doesn't shy away from showing how effective and deadly Mando can be. But The Mandalorian also, like so many other high-concept dramas recently, Westworld, seems like it could be in danger of adopting the J.J. Abrams mystery box playbook, dropping tantalizing narrative breadcrumbs for the audience to speculate over, using the delayed gratification as a shortcut for building tension rather than simply letting the plot unfold organically. It's too early to tell if The Mandalorian is going to play loosey with the football throughout its freshman season, but Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni aren't usually the kind of artists to string audiences along unnecessarily, so we're willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that all of the seeds being planted will bear narrative fruit this season. But perhaps the biggest draw of The Mandalorian is the chance for us to truly immerse ourselves in the Star Wars universe in ways we've only dreamed of, by engaging with a story that evolves and changes over the course of weeks and months as well as years. Disney initially seemed to want to take a more is more approach with the movies by pumping out one every year, Marvel style, but the Skywalker saga was always a finite story, as was Rogue One. And Solo seemed retrofitted to adhere to franchise movie-making rules rather than attempting to tell a compelling, self-contained story that justified its own existence first. The way those films were designed inherently limited how long we could feasibly spend following those plot threads, but a TV series is intended to unspool over multiple seasons, deepening with time. While it's still early days for The Mandalorian, and episodes 2 and 3 will be far more tangible proof of concept than the premiere, there's certainly enough potential in this character to guide us to previously unexplored corners of the galaxy for years to come, and that is a thrilling prospect. The Mandalorian brings the live-action Star Wars universe to the small screen with a bang in its meticulously crafted series premiere. Although there are some kinks to be worked out in terms of the show's tone, Episode 1 is a confident, compelling detour into a previously unexplored corner of the galaxy, anchored by a surprisingly expressive performance from Pedro Pascal. It's far too early to tell after only one episode, but The Mandalorian makes a fairly compelling argument for why the future of the Star Wars franchise, at least the foreseeable future, might be on television. For more Mandalorian, check out our reaction to the first episode and our interview with the cast about bounty hunters versus Darth Vader. And as always, subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.